hope you can see me. I know a hat and a, what do you call it, a dressing gown isn't very flattering, but you will see the weather in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm about to go and drop off a parcel, and I thought I'd bring you with me because I like our little walks that we do. And yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit of artwork today because today is my day off. This morning I went to the shop, nothing very interesting. I just drove to Runcorn. It was only about 20 minutes because I need to get my practice in, and I thought I'll go to the shop that's a little bit further just to get myself used to it, because other than driving to and from work, that's all I really do. I need to get the practice in because I actually have a very long drive at the end of the month. I'm going home, I'm going down to Somerset, and it's about 4.5 hours, so I need to get as much practice on any type of unfamiliar road that I can get, basically. So I'm gonna get dressed and we're gonna head straight out, and you're gonna see what sort of weather we get in the beginning of March, because you know what, I've seen stranger weather. It's been in April and we've had the same weather, so yeah, I'll join you back in a second. Hi! My camera died, so on the good old iPhone, I don't even have an iPhone, Sony phone, there we go, just a little plug in there. Don't work with them, just the type of phone I've got. It's currently snowing. I don't know if you can see it, just about snowing. It is actually the 9th of March? Yeah, 9th of March. And I don't know why it's decided to snow, but it's still quite nice. Just dropped off my parcel as always. Thank you for the people who bought some of my artwork. I really appreciate it. It just makes my life a little bit happier, and every time I sell something I'm like, oh, this is so cool, people actually believe in me. And yeah, so I'm out and about. It's actually been a few weeks since I've vlogged because I was actually quite ill. Not like hospital ill, but like there was this lurgy going around, so all I did was work. And when I wasn't at work I was resting at home, because unfortunately I couldn't really take the time off work to get better because we don't get paid for it. So I had to kind of just bite the bullet and just have to prioritise work for a change. But I really felt it mentally because I couldn't do everything I wanted to because I was just too ill for it, and mentally I felt it. I felt miserable. But I'm better now because I've spent all day in the garden. Ever since, well, about 2 days ago I spent most of the day in the garden, and obviously I was meant to spend some more time today, but that's not going to happen because it's freezing. I did have a bit of a chance to plant some more primroses, and yeah, but that's enough. But currently I've got a little project actually going on in my garden. We had the doors taken out from upstairs, all 4 of them, and got them replaced because they were just in a bad state. They're from the original owners who had dogs, and I think they smoked, so the doors were just in a really bad state. So I've been turning them into planters, and well, I've made one. It doesn't look great, but as you know, as long as it can hold soil, I'm sure it'll be fine. And I've got 3 more to do. I was planning to do another one today, but because the weather's so cold, I think I'll just leave it. And plus I've got 1 day of working on an early, and then I'm off for 2 days. So hopefully the weather will be better on the weekend, so it means I can do it and we can go from there. But yeah, it was such a lovely landscape. I've also I've also hennaed my hair. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little bit wet, but Lush have finally got the henna back, so I literally saw it in the window and grabbed it and paid for it before I even knew it. So that was a nice little treat for me, because it's actually, wow, it's a treat. It's a nice little me time and self-care thing that I do, because it's nice to have a routine as well, because I do it every 2 months. I have it in my calendar to make sure that I do it properly, and then I also have bath time every 2 weeks. It may sound really simple, but for me it works. The routine helps me keep my head on, because in terms of anxiety, a routine is very important. So as long as it works, then why change it? Yeah, I'm just gonna carry on walking a little bit. I'll meet you at home because it's freezing and my arm's hurting from holding this camera. I'm gonna grab a cup of tea, I think, and then have some food and then carry on with some art. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. Hi all. you join me on my studio floor. So my laptop's doing this weird thing where it was like fully charged and then decided to die within 2 seconds, and I was just like, I've literally just been charging you for the last 10 minutes and not even touched you. So I'm sat on the floor because also, not just because of that, my plug has moved slightly, the one closest to my laptop, which means I can't put the plug back in. So I don't want to touch that either because it's electrical and it's not safe for me to do that. So I've had to plug it into the other one by my keyboard, but that's too far for it to be plugged in as well as being on my desk. So at a bit of a dilemma, but you know, it's life. It's just life. Yeah, I got back. I had a lovely cup of tea. I just had a little green tea just to keep my blood warm because I was very, very cold and my coat was soaking wet and I was just generally wet. In terms of looking at things on my laptop, I am doing a bit of research because I've decided, because I've just done 2 videos of my last 2 sketchbooks of the Poundland series, which are my university sketchbooks, because they were cheap to buy and you're not having to pay out loads of money when you're in college or in school. So that's why I went to the Poundland sketchbooks. I did 2 videos of them, and then whilst I was looking through them, there was quite a lot of artists anyway. I do a lot of artist research in terms of practicality as well, and some of them were still life artists, and I like the look of them. Like Mondrian was there was another one I can't remember off the top of my head. Basically they did some really nice still life paintings, and I thought, I'm not known for still life in terms of artistry or flowers or floral or anything to do with environment really. There is a couple ones that I've done with like textured backgrounds with chalk and charcoal drawn on top of them. I've never really done paintings for still life, so I thought I'd actually give it a go. It's for me very cliche in terms of being a painter, so that's why I think I've just avoided that, but it is nice. And because I've got these boards, which I'll quickly show you now, this one here, it's a good size, and because it's flat it'll be easy to post if and when I sell it, if and when I sell the piece. And because it is board, I can easily just paint on top of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, whether or not I film it or not. So whether it's for me or it's going to be for the whole community that I have on my channel is depending on the moment. But at the moment I'm trying to fix my laptop. Other than that, I haven't got much planned today. Like I said, I did a bit of gardening this morning. I went to Aldi, got some little bits accidentally for my garden, as well as some food as well. There's not actually very much to apply for as well in terms of art on Creator Space. I go through a blip. Like last month I think I applied for 18 things. So far I got rejected from about 10 of them. I'm still waiting on the other 8, which is fine. Rejection is it's everywhere in the art world. You can't escape it. You kind of get used to it. And then when you do get into something, you're just like, oh, that's a really nice surprise. And you're just generally shocked and thankful that you got into something. But yeah, at the moment there's nothing really that jumps out at me. There is some there is some artist residencies that I like the look of, but because I've got a full-time job I can't apply for them, which is a bummer because I want to get into this art world, but I can't afford it. So until I get financially stable, I can't do much of the artist residency unless it's over a weekend, then I can figure it about. But these are like a few weeks long down on the Cornwall coast. So that's a little frustration that I just wanted to vent. There is an option actually for, I've worked with them before, the Frontier Gallery. So they are a gallery based in Sheffield, and they have done an open call for something called Urban Jungle. Now, can't really think of anything that can go with it, but the brief is quite open, so it's they're looking for to respond to the theme Urban Jungle, to be a part of the exhibition in May. This could be cityscapes, architecture, or even city folk. You're free to interpret the theme however you want and see fit. I would really like, because I did get into their Winter Solace one back in December, to physically, 1, to be able to drop the artwork off, and 2, to attend the private view, because at the private view, that is where you get to chat to people, make links, and just socialise all about art, because that is what you're there for. It's a lovely little community, and just having that premise of knowing what you want to talk about, and you have this common theme of art. It's just a lovely little joyous thing in life that I feel like I'm missing out on. That's why I want to branch out into an art studio, but at the moment I've just got this space in my back spare room, that is always a mess. I always get told off for all the amount of mess that there is, but it's okay to get more out of this. And even though I've got little bits of time here and there to do artwork, it's just not enough, and the scale of my artwork has gone down. So that means like, not like, if I wasn't restricted by size, let's say for a painting would normally be about at least A2, A3 or A2, but in here at the moment they're A5. Not to say that the quality is not there, because one, I don't have time, and two, there's far more theory bits and pieces that I have to go on to that takes priority compared to the practical side, which is annoying because you can see more of the practical side not being done than the theory, because the theory's all up here, you see. But it is something I'm trying to work on. I like with YouTube, that's why I started YouTube many years ago, that I want to be able to broaden my horizons, but also show you all, not just the whole art world, but also the outside section as well, because that is what, it's not, my whole life doesn't rotate around art. It 90% of the time does, but I also have like lots of little hobbies on the side, including gardening, which is very weird because some people think it's just a bit weird, but it's me. It's purely me, and I think everyone should have something that when they think about when they want to do it, and when they do it, they can just, time just flies. And I want everyone to have that experience, because it truly makes you feel so much better. Honestly, it's great. Oh, I have a little cool sketchbook. I don't know if I showed you this. So this is a planner from when my mum and dad went to Florida, and they went to the Universal Studios, and they had it pre-booked before COVID, but obviously the pandemic happened. I've just got like little pages in here of ideas, and just ways of me trying to figure out what I want to do. Because sometimes I can have an idea and then I forget to write it down, and I go, oh my god, what was that idea? It was amazing. It would have solved world hunger or something. And having this by my side really does help. So if any of you are struggling with ideas as well, get you a book. Not just this one, you can just get a normal book, but I thought I want a book that shouts just me as a person, and the Harry Potter book is exactly that. So how's that? Current projects that are going on, I might as well talk to you about some arty projects. I am doing my mixed media pieces, so I need to wait for them all to dry, and then I can start doing a collage of them on a piece of A2 markboard. I'm still photographing some of my pieces. That's taken a lot longer than I thought. I did give myself about 3 months. We're at the 3-month mark already, and I've done all the other sizes. It's just this one is one of the last ones, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find an A1 picture frame that is going to be cheap enough for me to use, but not to make it look naff. So I'm going to aim to do all the A2s, and then we should be done. I also still need to sort out some of my artworks, but I'm like, when you've only got 1 day a week to do art for the whole entire day, it's very hard for me to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to just do one thing, and there's not much to show for it either. So it's very hard for me to try and balance everything out, because I like to be able to get as much done as possible on those days off. But saying that, I have today off, which is Thursday, and then I got work in the morning tomorrow morning, but only an 8-hour shift, so that's fine. I finish at 3, lovely and early. Then I've got the weekend off, so I might do it then. Because weekends are for me, and maybe for my boyfriend, but my boyfriend's going to a football match, so I can do it then. Right, so after all that, I've decided to sit down and paint. not something to do with the fact that I just looked at someone on Instagram who I used to go to college with, and they are doing pretty well, and I feel good for them, apart from the fact that they weren't very good at doing work. So yeah, I feel my ego is great. Anyone else feel in the same boat where they just look at someone and you think, you weren't very nice at school, how did you get to that life? I know they will look successful on Instagram and it's not how they are actually in real life, but it still hurts, it still stings. It's like getting stung by a wasp rather than a bee, or vice versa. So I'm just going to start painting. I don't know what I want to actually paint just yet. I feel like sunflowers. I'm not sure what else I'd like to do, but this is just going to be for me, I'm not going to lie. So I'm just going to keep on painting until I get somewhere. Spent a few hours on this, well, mostly an hour. I started faffing around with the flowers a bit too much, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it, because these green stalks are going to be in the background, and then I'm going to bring the flowers forward, but I need the flowers to dry so I can bring it forward and make them a bit more poppy. I'm liking the bottom of the vase, but I think that's going to be pure white. I want it to be pure white, and then to do something with the background as well, just so it's not all one colour. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with it. It doesn't look like much and does look a bit like a child's painting, but it's a start. It always happens like this. The first drying season, I call it, doesn't look great. It's still very much a template. And even though there is some elements in there that I really like, I can't use it all, and I'm going to have to cover it up, because as you can see, the yellow is interacting with the blue background, which I wanted it to, but I just wanted to get the paint on there just to be able to try and work something out with it. So overall, I'm quite happy with it. I'll keep you up to date with it as well. I've also got a few little ones that I'm working on as well. So that's a little bit behind the scenes of my painting. But yeah, definitely want to come back to it, and I need to work on making it better. But from what is there, I can carry on with it. I definitely want to change the background colour to a light blue. I'm not sure. I might try red, but I'm not sure yet. I just wanted something other than blue, because I think I always reach for blue and it just makes things pop out, but that's not a clear navy blue. So yeah, there we go. It's been a bit of a weird day. Apart from me going out and then me sitting on the floor and then me trying to do some sort of painting, whatever the hell that is. But I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope you enjoyed my thought process, definitely. And as always, I say this, if you have any questions, please leave in the comment section below. Anything you want to say as well, like, I know I'm not that sort of artist that can just sit down and just paint or draw a masterpiece. It takes time, and time isn't really something I have much of, because I have to work to be able to pay for the house. But I am working on changing that, and you can be a part of that change as well. So please subscribe to my channel and like it also. It gives it a bit more widespread, and more people can view it and enjoy it and help me out. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this a like and subscribe like I said already. This is in my description box. There's my social medias, and also there is a PayPal donations page as well. If you can't do any of that, please make sure you do subscribe, because it really does help. It gets me that little bit closer to financial freedom and working full time, and I'll be able to do a lot more sculpture, a lot more everything. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.